கூப்பிட்டு வந்திருக்கிறேன், பார்க்கறதுக்கு போகிறேன், நீங்களும் பாருங்கள்.
Welcome to Ancestral Goa, or Bigfoot as it is also known. Bigfoot because the legendary imprint of the foot of a virtuous man whose character and penance pleased God so much that he was lifted to heaven is found in this place. Ancestral Goa offers you a glimpse of what Goa looked like and how life in his paradise on earth was a couple of decades ago. Behind you, by the side of the main entrance, is the fan of those times. A thick cloth tied to a pole was moved pulling the attached rope, thereby stirring the air to provide a cool environment to those seated below. Opposite that, you can see the palanquin, the mode of transport for the landlords. While the master and his mistress would seat in the palanquin, 4 able-bodied men employed as porters would lift it on their shoulders or heads and carry them. In front of you is a picture of Sant Mirabai carved out of a single laterite stone. Mahendra Alvarez, who conceptualized Ancestral Goa, single-handedly sculpted this image by using traditional tools. His labor of love has been recognized as the longest sculpture on a single laterite rock in India.
Let us go out to have a glimpse of life in Goa then. As you move in the recreated village at different places, you will be explained through the sound system. Listen carefully and please move on as and when you are requested to do so. Thank you. Legend has it that the entire Konkan stretch was reclaimed from the sea when Lord Parshuram, the 6th avatar of Lord Vishnu, shot an arrow into the Arabian Sea from the Sahayan Reef. The waters receded from the point where the arrow landed and Konkan, including Goa, came into being. After paying our respects to the creator of this land, let us climb the 7 steps to meet Dimo, the earlier Mukdam or caretaker, who was appointed by the landlords to look after their land. In present times, we find the accountant standing up to this role. Here is Dimo welcoming you to his land. Let us take a look at Goa as it looked then. Hello, I am Damyan, the local fisherman. Why are you gaping at me? Is it because of what is covering me? Oh, this is the rainwear that we go and see. Made entirely from a coconut palm leaf, it protected us from the rain and also the blazing sun. And it was totally natural and biodegradable. Weren't we truly eco-friendly? In fact, in the bygone days, we depended upon nature and consumed only natural products. And one of our favorite was fish. To your right, a little further, you can see 2 fishermen, one Hindu and the other Catholic, clearly distinguished in their attire, going with their nets to catch nature's bounty. Kashti, or the loincloth, was worn by us. Take a closer look at them. Behind, you can see the salt pans. Briny water from the sea was let into these pans, and once the water evaporated due to the heat from the bright sun, we got salt. Let us now move ahead to meet Pidu.
Pidu, a local fishmonger. I sell fish by visiting the households in the village. I am easily identified because of the blouse with prominently puffed sleeves and a distinctly patterned flare skirt. You can now see a section depicting some of the houses and occupations along the coastline. Behind you are the huskers at work, dehusking the coconuts on a simple implement called kugla. While the coconuts would be sold in the market, strong ropes would be made from the coil on a simple machine, which later was used to make various items including mats. You can also see some of the tools and implements used to pluck coconuts, prepare rafters from the stem, etc., all nicely placed in the cutting tray. Further ahead is a typical fisherman's hut erected by the sea. entirely with parts of the coconut tree. Fishermen did all their work here. Notice the various implements used by them, like the oar, the anchor, and don't miss the wooden needle used to repair the nets. A picture of fishermen's patron Saint Anthony is prominently displayed in the hut, and they would pray to him before venturing into the sea. Please climb the few steps to have a look at the life in the interiors where farmers or agricultural laborers lived.
After climbing the steps, to your right is the house of Guam, with mud walls and cow dung plastered floor. Their traditional attire, kapot for ladies and kashti for the gents, hangs in the balcony. The kapot is a sari draped in a unique style and with a signature print in basically 3 colors. Zua's wife, Catherine, is wearing the red kapot as she cleans rice in her veranda. The satisfied farmer had a song on his lips and a cheer in his heart that was very often expressed through songs with a gummo, a percussion instrument made of an earthen pot that had one end covered with a knife as an for this celebration. Up on your left is Martin, the Tory Tapper. Returning home with the Tory in his pot and the kati, the special sickle used to prune the coconut fluorescence to extract the toddy, from which Goa's elixir, coconut feni, is distilled. Behind you is the kettle shed, which was there in most households. All the implements like the plough, the leveler, etc. that were required to till the land are displayed here. Each kettle head had a different bell tied around its neck, so that the farmer could identify it with the sound of the bell. Did you notice the different types of beads used in those times? As it was believed that this shell had a calming effect on the animals. Note the mud and cow dung plastered pot, porogo, the thermos flask of those days. Next to the cow shed is the haystack, where the fodder for the ruminating animal was stacked.
Opposite the haystack is a typical cashew fairy distilling unit. The cashews are collected twice a day by the family members. The women folk separate the nut from the apples and the men crush the apples under their feet. The juice is collected in pots for fermentation. Once fermented, it is put in the big pot and boiled. Vapors are collected in the small pot where they are condensed by pouring water on the pot, and the resultant first distill is called urak, which is a light drink and is mostly consumed during the summer months. Urak mixed with more fermented juice is once again distilled, and the second distill is the kaju feni, white a potent drink. The nuts were roasted and kernel was removed from them by cracking the nut open, as the lady in the green sari is doing. From the remaining nut shell, oil was extracted from and used to waterproof boats and also as a pesticide.
This is a village stream where the water is channelized through the mouth of a cow, as it is considered to be a holy animal. This is the fourth boca de vaca, or mouth of the cow's spring. The spring fulfilled many needs of the villagers. While the animals waded in its waters to cool down, The women folk used it to wash their clothes and utensils, as we can see Shantu doing. A tub covered out of laterite stone to soak the clothes was usually kept by the side of the spring. Naturally available berries called rinto were used to cleanse the body. Let us now go ahead to visit Nandu, the village potter. Very important person. Here you can see the various stages involved in preparing the clay item, ranging from sieving the sand to polishing the final piece and baking it. Note the change in clothing at every stage of work, including the different attire worn by those marketing.
Next to Nandi's house is Inas's house. He is the local carpenter and his house doubles up as a workplace too. Here we can see Inas's wife feeding her child behind the curtain. The carpenters of those times amalgamated Western patterns with Indian motifs to prepare truly artistic furniture that is so fascinating even in present times. The tools of the carpenter's trade along with their clothes are on display. Behind you is the gold shepherd called Dangal, who live in the hills of the Sayadri and tend to mostly goats, though they also had some cattle heads. At times, especially during the sowing and harvesting season, he came down to the plains to help the farmers, and in return took away grain for his consumption. The Dangal always carried a towel which doubled up as a turban to protect him from the blazing sun. It is a common that everybody and every place has a garden religion. Here at the side of the step, you can see a place dedicated to the particular Korea called Rakhanda. Whenever anybody was deep in Philip on the journey, 7 lamps were lit for him and his family's safety, while only small urban fossils were offered. In present time, agarbuttis and folk mix are offered to the Rakhanda.